A very good afternoon to all my friends. I hope you all are doing good at home, staying safe and staying happy. This is me, Tamanna Anwar from S2A, gonna be a physics teacher for today on the topic continuous charge distribution. And actually this is a super simple topic, continuous charge distribution. So I will explain you what's meant by continuous charge distribution. Continuous charge distribution simply means that we are not considering a single charge. We are considering so many charges, okay? And the so many charges are passing continuously and uniformly through a given area. That means if a charge is moving and after half an hour another charge is just moving, that doesn't make sense. If the charges are moving continuously and uniformly, we call it continuous charge distribution. In a system, if the charge is moving continuously, that's continuous charge distribution, and that's divided into three. Our continuous charge distribution is divided into three, that is linear charge distribution, surface charge distribution and volume charge distribution. Linear charge distribution will be explained by me first of all. Linear charge distribution simply means that I said you there will be so many charges, right? So if these charges are passing through a line, okay, it is passing linear. And if it is passing through a given line, we call it linear charge distribution. For example, if you're taking a metal wire and if you're taking a metal ring, both are charged, okay? Both are charged, and then we can observe, after charging, we can observe that in this wire, the charges will be passing through the line. And in this ring also, this charges will be passing through a line. That means the charges will pass through the circumference of the ring. And when it comes to surface charge distribution, it simply means that if these charges are passing through the surface of a given system. For example, if you're taking a metal sphere and if you're taking a metal sheet, both are charged, okay? Like I said here, this is also charged. And now if these charges are passing through the surface, it's not through the air line, it's not through a particular line. If it's totally passing through a surface of a given system, we call it surface charge distribution. And these charges are passing along the area, okay? Now, when it comes to volume charge distribution, this is also simple. If these charges are passing through the volume of a given substance or of a given system, through the volume, if these charges are passing, we call it volume charge distribution. For example, if you are taking a non-conducting sphere, a plastic sphere, we are charging it, then we can observe that the charges are passing through the volume of the sphere. So that is a logic idea with these three charges. And now I will tell you, there will be some, you may feel like the surface charge distribution, volume charge distribution, it's somewhat similar. But here, these charges in the surface charge distribution is actually through the surface, okay? But in the volume, it's totally through the volume if the charges are passing. For example, in this volume charge distribution and all, our questions will be like, if there is a thick block, that is, the surface will be somewhat thick or bold, okay? If there is a thick like bricks or something, and you have to calculate how much charge is passing through it. Like that questions will be coming in volume charge distribution. But when it comes to surface charge distribution, the questions will be like, there is a plain sheet and you have to calculate how many charges passing through it. These questions will be like that. Don't get confused with surface charge distribution, volume charge distribution. And linear charge, it will be like if there is a 50 kilometers wire and you have to calculate how many charges passing through it. Such questions will be. Okay. Now you are understanding how and where we have to apply this. Now let me ask you a question. Like I said, linear charge distribution, we are considering a 50 kilometers big wire, and if they asked you to calculate how many charges are passing, it is actually impossible, right? Because 50 kilometers long wire, how can we calculate? So here we are introducing a new term for calculating all this, and that is linear charge density and surface charge density, volume charge density. Or it simply means we are introducing a new term, charge density. Charge density simply means that the charge is passing through a unit area. In here, through a unit length, through a unit surface, through a unit volume. And so if you are calculating through a unit, it is possible to calculate because it will be a small length only, right? So it will be possible for all of us to calculate. Now let me tell you equations for all these three. When it comes to distribution, we're actually writing linear charge density is equation. Okay. Now linear charge density lambda is equal to Q by L. That is, we are denoting it by lambda, that is equal to charge. How many charge? By the unit length. When it comes to surface charge distribution, we are denoting it with sigma, and sigma is equal to Q by A. That is charge by unit area. And when here it is volume charge distribution and here it is volume charge density, rho is equal to Q by V. Rho is equal to Q by V, that is charge by unit volume. Unit volume, unit area, unit length. Okay. Now if you want the equation for charge, it will be like sigma into A, and here it will be lambda into L. Okay. And here also this we have to keep Q here and we have to take volume to here. So we'll get the equation for charge. Now I will tell you how we will connect continuous charge with electrostatics. We know a very familiar equation like electric field lines, 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square. That is 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 charge by R square. So instead of writing Q1 Q2 by R square, what we do is that we equate this equation like sigma L is equal to Q, sigma A is equal to sigma A is equal to Q and lambda L is equal to Q. That is, instead of writing 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R square, we write 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 sigma A by R square. That is, sigma A simply means Q itself, or else we'll write lambda L by R square. That is how we are connecting. Okay. Now in this, instead of writing just sigma A by R square or lambda L by R square, we will actually differentiate it. When we are differentiating, you know that we are using D, letter D, right? So we will write sigma A D, okay, or integrating D sigma A. But when we are integrating, this D will be taken out and we'll get the same equation. That doesn't make sense. I am simply telling how we will come, it will come with integration. It is just sigma A is equal to Q. I hope you understand all this. This is how we connect all this, and I told you how these questions are coming also. So that is all with all this topic, and I hope you understand. And let me tell you one more thing, that when we are writing this integral, we have to write under this integral sign, we have to write whether we are doing with a linear charge distribution or surface charge distribution or volume charge distribution. That is, we have to write here either L. If you are writing for linear, we have to write L, or else we have to write V, or else we have to write S. That is integral over length or integral over surface, integral over volume. We have to define it, okay? Then only we will understand for what we are equating. That's all with this. I hope you understand linear charge distribution, surface charge distribution, volume charge distribution, how to equate it, where to equate it, how the questions will come, and what is meant by linear charge density, its equation, and that I did go some first. I have to do it with 5 minutes. I hope you understand. And if you have any doubts, you can DM me. I hope you understand. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.